In this video, I will tell you why I feel that how we raise food products in the United States needs an overhaul, and also why USA Food Products are inferior to the ones produced in Europe. If you live in the United States, I will also answer the question, what can you do about it as a consumer? I recently went on a trip to Spain. Why? Because of this guy. You may have seen him in my other videos. This is Chef Alex Bujoreanu. Alex was raised in Barcelona and trained as a chef in Spain under one of the fathers of molecular gastronomy, Ferran Adrià. So when he asked me to join him on a vacation to Spain, I jumped on the opportunity. Now, I've spent a considerable amount of time in Europe, but I've never been to Spain, and I was excited to see the sights and the culture. I already knew that the cuisine and produce in Europe was spectacular, but what I never expected was how much better the seafood, meat, and olive oil in Spain was compared to what I have ever tasted. Alex and I have had this conversation on many occasions. In our restaurant, we do all that we can to make sure that our ingredients are the best that we can possibly procure. A lot of the stuff that we get is local. We're blessed to be in a geographic region where we are surrounded by wonderful seafood and fresh local produce. The other parts of the year we have to rely on importing our products. And for the most part, we get decent quality products. When we try to, we get organic products. But at best, the organic products that we get barely compare to the quality of the produce you can get in the supermarkets, a common supermarket in Europe. And I need to understand why.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Glad you came.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you and I, I'll never forget this moment. We check into our condo. Then with the kids and the family, we got to go to the supermarket. Right around the corner from the condo in Malaga is an Aldi. We walk in and we're picking up the usual stuff that you need, and you come up to me like a kid. You're like, they have this shrimp. It's pre-cooked shrimp at Aldi's. And you're like, this is the best shrimp. And I look at him like, this guy's nuts. We're at Aldi. I want to get my shrimp from the local market. Why is he so excited? We get back to the condo and you give me a piece of shrimp, and it was the best shrimp I have ever had in my life in any supermarket. Forget about supermarket, any market you'd get here in the United States. How did you know that?
Well, first of all, I was living in Spain for 25 years, whatever. And I grew up with that. Doesn't matter if you go to the corner was the fish store and the grandma selling the fish over there, or you go to the market like Aldi, which is the cheaper, let's say like that. You go and you buy the product, but each one of the product, it's almost the same with everybody, right?
Yeah.
So we will get them shrimps. It's look like a little bit cocktail shrimp. What you have here is coming cooked, so everything is coming head on, skin on. You have to peel it and you eat it, right?
I was shocked because there is no way you're going to walk into an Aldi here in the United States and get shrimp that even tastes remotely close to the quality of that. I was blown away. Tell you what, let's go get some seafood and let's cook up some paella.
Good idea. Let's go.
The other day, I picked up Chilean sea bass, and it was portioned steaks, right? Each piece was cryovac, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
And I look on the packaging, it's frozen. I mean, that should be enough. You don't need more than that. It's cryovac, it's protected, it's over. We don't need any more than that. But I look on the packaging, and it says, coated with carbon monoxide to protect the color. I know that carbon monoxide will kill human beings. I get it. So what is the manufacturer doing? They're putting it in because the Chilean sea bass is dead. The carbon monoxide shouldn't kill the Chilean sea bass because it's already dead. But here's the problem. Something is destroying the flavor of this food. I don't understand why they add carbon monoxide, but something is ruining the flavor, clearly, because it's not the same here as it is in Spain.
Well, in this country, we focus more in saving money and volume, not quality, you know.
Are we saving any money? I mean, realistically, I don't think we are, because you can't say it's transportation costs. In Europe, the price of diesel and gas is almost like double compared to it is in the United States. And the food products in Spain were significantly cheaper than what they are here.
Well, my friend, we allow to the big companies to tell us what is tastes good or was not tasting good. And maybe for that is the reason. Because the quality of the food, we have to balance it a little bit with more spicy or sweet or sour, or whatever, to give a little bit more balance and consistency of the food, right? And in your restaurant or in my restaurant, we don't work like that. We work in very simple, like salt and olive oil.
Yeah, right, because when you have good ingredients, you don't need to mess around with having everything taste excessively spicy or covering up what really isn't there. And you're right, it really all depends on how you prepare your food, how you cook your food, and the quality of the ingredients. When we were in that factory that made the stock for paella, the seafood stock and the meat stock, I never saw you more excited in my life. You were like a kid opening up Christmas presents. I couldn't understand why, because you make the best paella I've ever tasted in my life. And I know you make the best stock for your paella, and I was wondering, why is this guy getting excited about this paella stock that's canned?
You saw the quality of the product what we eat in Spain, right?
Seafood, yes.
When I saw the company, I get so excited because I knew it. They're gonna make it a great stock. And guess what? It's a stock. It's nothing else. It's not chemicals. It's not any kind of colorant or conservant or any kind of flavor. It's just the bunch of the seafood. You remember when we saw all that seafood, and they have mantis shrimp, they have crabs, they have fish, they have everything together, right? Fresh, everything fresh. And guess what? Everything is local. Exactly the power what we have here. We can do everything local.
Right. So you're saying that because we get it in this can, that we're going to get the quality of Spanish seafood right here in this stock?
100%.
They do sell this in the United States, thank God. I'm excited to try this. This is the first time you're trying it, right?
Yes. Actually, we had it.
Oh, that's right. We had it at the Paella restaurant. Chef Marco and his family are the owners of the Michelin star restaurant Arrocería Las Barretas in Valencia, Spain, which is known as the founding region of paella. Alex and I were excited to sample what is considered to be one of the top places in the world to eat authentic paella.
Here we are in the heart of the restaurant, and we meet the chef, right?
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm Marco, the chef from Barretas.
Everything is cooked authentically over strips of locally sourced pine. The pine is intentionally thin so that the paella pan temperature can be accurately controlled.
Look at that. Now they're making the socorat. Very, very low flame. All the rice. As you say, guys, it's not just yellow rice.
The socorat is the famous signature bottom layer of the paella, almost like a moist crust.
Everything is measured to the precise formula. Why? Because everything has to be the same consistency, right? The rice, the sofrito, the stock, right?
The salt, all
The salt, everything
is going to be perfect.
The paella room is massive. At any given time, they can be making 90 paella pans simultaneously, and they're only open for lunch. Chef Marco's brother, Nacho, manufactures their signature meat and seafood stock in their factory that we visited just down the road.
The paella that we had at Las Barretas Chivas is probably better than 95% of the paellas I've ever had anywhere in the world. I have to be honest with you, yours is better.
Thank you. There are two different success keys over there to make it happen, right? One is the sofrito and the stock, and actually how you make it the paella, how you put it all together. Working with the high quality of the seafood and vegetable, exactly what we have right here to make it the paella.
You mentioned sofrito. Tell me about the sofrito.
It's ground tomatoes,
Freshly
garlic,
green tomato.
fresh, everything fresh, garlic, onion, and olive oil. We use only extra virgin olive oil. It's a long process, like around 6 hours to make a nice sofrito. And almost to the end, when the onion is dark, we add the tomatoes, and a little bit of smoked paprika, sweet smoked paprika, right?
Years ago, squid was much more abundant in New York than it is now. I was at my favorite restaurant in Rhode Island, and on the menu they advertised local Point Judith calamari, and it was winter. I'm like, local, this time of the year, how do you do that? You can't, right? So I talked to the manager, I'm like, where does the calamari come from? And he goes, we get our calamari from Narragansett and Point Judith. I go, can you tell me the distributor? He goes, yes. He gives me the distributor's number, and I called the distributor up. And I'm like, listen, I want to buy calamari directly from you. He's like, we don't deal with distributions. I go, I want to buy 5,000 pounds at a time. He goes, that's really nothing. It's not enough to do, you have to be a distributor. I'm like, really? So I got to know the guy, and guess what he tells me? He tells me that the calamari that they catch in Point Judith is shipped to China, packaged, and then brought back frozen.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Crazy.
So I look at the ingredients, and it's calamari, it's pyroxanthine, whatever, I don't know, this crap that's in there. I'm like, is it really worth it? I mean, are you saving that much money? You have to ship it to China and have it manufactured and brought back and add all these chemicals to it? I don't understand it, man. I don't get it.
When I buy my product in my restaurant, I'm trying to buy exactly like back in Spain, right? When we clean the shrimp and the heads, we use it for the stock. And over there, they give you the shrimp with the head on, the skin on.
And not deveined.
Not the vein.
And everyone seems to survive.
And everybody happy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that is the key.
Maybe it's the key, the vein.
The rice what you use for the paella is called bomba rice. Short.
Yeah, almost looks like sushi rice almost.
Yes.
Almost like, it's kind of like, it almost looks a little bit like risotto rice.
And fat. And para los pollos.
What does that mean?
For the chicken. The measure for the rice is between 80 and 100 grams, right? But to the end, we drop a little bit, for the chicken, right? Because we want to have a little bit extra. It's just, it's tradition for us. And now we have to measure the water.
How much water what's the ratio?
Well, it's 400 grams of liquid.
And a little more for the chicken?
A little bit more for the chicken. Saffron actually is one of the best antibiotics what you can have, in the natural antibiotics. In the 1 ounces, like usually in the restaurant where we buy, it's 1 ounces of saffron. Do you know how many flowers it's in that 1 ounces? 220,000 flowers, what they pick by hand. That is the reason why the saffron is very expensive, because it's a lot of work.
Let me get a little piece of calamari. I want to try something.
It's a little bit salty or no?
No, I'm happy with it. Oh my God. That American calamari, that's really, really good. I mean, it's not bad at all. There's no comparison between the American calamari and the China and India calamari, and it wasn't a lot more money. It's not like, oh my God, it's so much more expensive. What is it going to take to educate people on quality food?
Well, some part of me understand the fact of the, high prices and everything, high insurance, labor costs, food costs, and also we have to make money. But if we dedicated to buy great products, local product, like in my restaurant, we looking for James Beard, and we signing for the how it's called?
Oh, they have that program, right?
The program.
If you decide to apply for a James Beard Award, you have to only use line-caught seafood, right?
Exactly.
Well, that's great.
So everything seafood and fish, we have to lower the flame. Stand up, yes.
Give me one.
We buy all the seafood and the fish wild catch. by hand.
Right.
Only
Hand
by
put, line
hand.
put only, right.
Yes. In the house, we have the own greenhouse.
Right.
The vegetable made it in the house,
Right.
and we changed the menu seasonal.
Right, and in the summertime, we're getting everything local. We're doing the right thing. But I know what my viewers are thinking. They're thinking right now, oh, yeah, sure, I'm going to go out and buy locally farmed stuff. I'm going to get organic stuff, and it's going to cost me a fortune. It's going to be very expensive, right? That's what they're thinking.
It's true. Actually, it's exactly like gas for the cars. When you go to buy the cheap gas, you're happy because you don't pay too much money. But if you look in the range, how many miles we can do, let's say 200 miles. If you buy the extra superpower one, you can run 400, like double than that. So the food is exactly the same thing.
What I feel like, if you're not getting the nutrition that your body needs, and I've talked about this on my channel many times, if you're not getting the nutrition that your body needs, your body keeps asking you for more food. Similarly, people don't drink enough water. So they go, okay, this idiot's not going to give me enough water, therefore I need to compensate for it by making him eat more. And
True.
The other thing too is when you're eating quality ingredients that don't have a lot of sugar, that don't have an excessive amount of salt, your body naturally knows when to stop. You can either pay for it up front now and pay a little bit more, or you pay later. Because if you don't take care of your body now, sooner or later you're going to need to spend a lot of money on health care. Sooner or later you might wind up getting diabetes, you might wind up getting cardiovascular illness. With all the chemicals we put in our food, even though it's FDA approved, who knows, does it really cause illnesses? I mean, I know one thing, I'm 56 years old, I feel like I'm 25, but I also spend a lot of time, like you, eating really, really healthy. You know what I mean? So actually I'm not 56, I'm gonna be 55. Let's not push it, but anyway. So what's the solution, Alex? What's it gonna take to get the level of quality of food that you get in Spain here in the United States?
Well, first of all, we have to educate everybody the way how we spend our own money, the way how we buy.
Alex was right. It's up to us to improve the quality of our produce by being more selective about what we eat. Read the label. Make sure you're not purchasing products that have unnecessary additives, preservatives, or chemicals in them. Eventually, manufacturers will get the message. But more importantly, we're going to reap the health benefits of wise choices. And that's what this channel is all about. I put together a playlist of great videos that I created over the past 5 years that will give you a jumpstart into choosing a healthier lifestyle. There it is. Cheers.